Okay, so this is the Apple Watch Ultra. You can see here today, if I was to go into settings and then go to general and software update, we have watchOS 9.1 developer beta 4. Now this update comes in for me at exactly 244 megabytes, updating from watchOS 9.1 beta 3. And so I'm going to be updating and showing you some of the new features and changes that are here. Now before I actually go ahead with the update, there is a bug that's affecting me, so as I speak you can tell my volume. But if I go into the Siren here, there's a bug on beta 3 where the Siren doesn't make like an audible sound. It's so muffled that it's so hard to hear. Oh, it just went off. So if I do this, maybe you can hear a bit of it. Yeah, so yeah, this issue is here before updating. And not only that, but when I go ahead and tell the time, it has this robotic voice too that hasn't been resolved. So I'm going to go ahead and update and see if those issues actually get resolved. So as you can see here, my device is now up to date. You can see that your Apple Watch is now updated to the latest update here. And before I show you what are the new software changes that are here with this update, I just want to show you some other releases that were there yesterday. So if you go to the Apple developer page, you'll be able to see that yesterday Apple released iOS 16.1 beta 4, and also you'll see that we got macOS 13 beta 10 and watchOS 9.1 beta 4 that we've updated to, which just dropped, came a day later. So I'll just show you the software changes that are here with this update. And if we go into general and go into the about this watch section, you can see the build number that we have here. It's 20S5063C. Now this update has a C at the end, and coming from watchOS 9.1 beta 3, this takes 2 steps in the positive direction. As before we had an E, so an E to a C is a positive jump. And just in case you're curious, I'll show you the modem firmware version that I have here. I never used to check this, but since this is a cellular model, maybe this is something that I might be showing more often. So you can see here that it's 501.01. So 5.01.01 is the modem firmware version that I have on my Apple Watch Ultra. Now let's talk about what's new with this update. The first one that I want to show you, since the iPhone does a lot of health features for the Apple Watch, I'll just go into here. If you go into your health app and then go to the browse section and go to where it says vitals and then scroll down to where it says mensuration right there, you see that of course there's no data. And if you go to the about this section here, you can see that all this has been updated. So this layout and this graphic that you see here has also been updated, and a few minor wording changes have been updated to show support for the Apple Watch Series 8 and the Apple Watch Ultra. So you can always compare this with the previous version that you are coming from, and in order to see this, of course, you need to be updated to the latest iOS beta. Now I want to show you something here that has also been updated, and it has to do with the different focus modes for the Apple Watch. Now if you go on your iPhone and go into settings and go to focus right here, you can create actually a custom focus. So if you click there on the add and then you create a custom focus, you can name your focus. We just name it that, and then once you basically create the name, click next and then customize focus. You can see that now you have the ability to create a custom focus that's going to be like for the Apple Watch, where you can choose a custom watch face for that focus. So if you wanted to choose a custom focus for this focus mode that we called H, then we can choose like the Wayfinder watch face, or like this X large. It seems like it's glitched out, it's all black. Could be a bug with this update, but you can see some of the watch faces that are pre-selected here that you can choose from. That's something that's good. Now I want to also show you that the Siren issue that I showed at the start of this video has been fixed. So if we go to our app view here and go to the Siren section, click play, Just take a listen. Already you can tell that it's way louder. I'm actually scared that it's gonna cause an alert, but you can hear that it's really loud now. It's back to normal, unlike what was there on beta 3. So this is a good fix and the issue has been resolved. If you go to the App Store on the Apple Watch App Store and you search for the two applications that I just showed you, you will see that you'll be greeted by a new splash screen. So welcome to the App Store. Now this is a new pop-up that's showing up here. So if you click continue and you do a search, you can search for depth. We just search for that, and then when we click search, you see that the Apple Watch Depth app is there. Now for you, even though you don't have an Apple Watch Ultra, this is something that you will see, but you won't be able to open it, of course, since this is only for the Apple Watch Ultra. But also, if you go back to the App Store and search for the Siren app, which is the one that was just testing, this one, you'll also be able to see this application on your App Store. But if you don't have a supported series, then you won't be able to download or install this. Now, if you've been following my journey when it comes to watchOS 9.1, you might know that I was having issues when it comes to Siri sensitivity. So I would like to let you know that the Siri sensitivity issue has been resolved. So you can see that this is about 45 centimeters away from my mouth, and you can see when I bring it close by, Siri isn't just like always activating that like what was there before on beta 2 or beta 3. So that issue has been resolved with this update. And also it seems like with beta 3 going forward, sleep is more responsive and the metrics are showing and depicting better, which is good for the Apple Watch. And also this release adds support for the latest firmware and software releases that Apple has released. There is an issue that's here with this update that I would like to show you. The first one has to do with the 2-finger tap, which is not working at this time for me on my Apple Watch Ultra on watchOS 9.1 beta 4. So if I take 2 fingers and tap, it's silent. There is no response at all, and that issue was actually there on beta 3, so that hasn't yet been resolved. And if we go into our watch app right here and go to where it says clock right there and go to where it says sounds, you can see that the text here is overlaid. So we'll go back. You can see clock looks really clear, but the moment you go to sounds, you can see that the clock and the sounds overlay each other. The clock does not disappear, and that seems to be an issue. And of course, like I mentioned, I do have the 2-finger tap enabled in order to tell me the time, but at this time it seems like that is an issue when it comes to this update. So that's about it for me when it comes to watchOS 9.1 beta 4. This is a beta update, and if you're going to be updating, do expect some issues and bugs to be coming with this update. But when it comes to the next release, we can expect a next beta or RC maybe in the next coming week, since we are still on a weekly release cycle. So that's about it for me. If you like this video, do leave a like and stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.